If I'm to assess Professor Benedict Ayade as a very conservative, maybe teacher, I will score him 20%. 20% is a fair mark in the sense that he lost control. ESCO, that was supposed to be sitting every week, was not sitting every week as they should. So leaders of ministries like commissioners never had the opportunity to do a self-evaluation for him to maybe ask questions. The reporting they do usually, the evaluation they do in ESCO. We had complaints of no interest, so people were running the ministries with either stolen resources or own resources. I don't believe they were actually running it with their own resources. The resources they either stole from the people directly or they stole from government just to run the ministry. So in terms of tourism, Cross River State has been worse off in the sense that the insecurity increased geometrically, where we've had more kidnappings than we ever had previously. Cross River State is dirty and smelling. There are potholes everywhere. Tourism is dead in Cross River State. We can no longer say that Cross River State is a tourism destination. Professor Benedict Ayade has failed. He failed Cross Riverians and he has also failed himself. Tourism has died. We don't have visitors anymore in Cross River State. All the projects he set out to execute. He made so much noise in channels and so many media houses. He has not completed one. None is functional. Is it a superhighway? Is it a spaghetti flyover? Is it a deep sea port? Is it a Karachika or Calavegas? Name them. None is working. Is it a cargo airport? I understand they are arranging with the military to get a military aircraft to land in the wrong way, just to excite his people that he has delivered on his promise on the cargo airport. Of course, that is another deceit. I'm ashamed to even say this. We least expected this. I don't know what is spaghetti about the goalpost by Odupani. I don't know what is spaghetti about it. It's sad. It's actually frustrating that he did not just leave the state stagnant. We have retrogressed 20 years behind. He has complained about paucity of funds, but this is the man who prides himself that he is going to develop Cross River out of nothing. And how much is Ebonyi earning from allocation that they've done so well? What about Yobe? Even states in the northeast did better all across River. The people of the Northern Senatorial District actually expressed themselves in the ballot and gave him a red card. They gave him a red card. They gave him a red card. It was obvious. It was obvious. He lost. He lost. Sad. Sad. Actually very wicked to Cross Riverians because he had the chances. Cross Riverians actually believed in him. They believed in him. You know, he's a smooth talker. Always looking, speaks elegantly, smoothly, neatly and responsibly. But they say the taste of the pudding is in the eating. If you're not in the state, you'll be forced to believe his lies, unless you're in the state. Regret was that we got him elected. I just hope the incoming governor is ready to clean the audience table.
The governor, in my own rating, has tried his best in this area, in some areas, and there are areas they have not really done well. In the area of civil servants, workers of Cross River State, let me mention the specific area he has not actually done very well. The issue of gratuity of the retirees from 2014 to date, they have not paid gratuity. People have retired for over years and they don't have their gratuity. A lot of them are dying because they don't have this money to take care of themselves. I think actually he has not done well as far as that is concerned. And for civil servants in the state, he has been able to pay salary. Salary is the right of people, but so many governors were unable to pay up to this time, but he has done his best. He paid salary up to now. I think we are giving him credit for that. And I am not giving him a very high mark because we're having a lot of issues in the states. But I don't want to blame that governor as completely as a person, because he's working with people, and I think that he has been a great deal of the service has been done on him or done to him by the people he's working with. So that is my own assessment.
In assessing Governor Ayade's tenure, I would want to say that I'll start from my street here. We had a culvert here and somewhere close to the National Library there, which collapsed, and all the government needed to do was to reconstruct that culvert because it collects water right from 1111 through down to the big gutter down the road on Barracks Road. But unfortunately that culvert collapsed, and for over 2 years nothing was done about it. I personally had to procure about 4 trucks of wasted material to fill up that place. So about 2 years there was no vehicular movement through that place. So in my assessment of the government of Governor Ayade, I would say for me, it's a personal opinion, it is a total failure. Failure in the sense that there was a misdirection of destination of government. Cross River State had an area of comparative advantage, which for all intent and purposes we all know was tourism. But as far as I am concerned, tourism in Cross River State has been killed and buried by this administration. What we have lived with in the last 8 years was that, or has been that, the destination was, for instance, Odukpani. But in the course of joining to Odukpani, there was a diversion at airport runabout to Akpabuyo. At that point, there was a complete miss of the destination of where Cross River State was supposed to go and the purpose for which it was meant to achieve, giving what the forefathers, the predecessors in office had formulated as what would drive the government of the day. But unfortunately for me as a person, I want to score the government. For me, it's been a total failure. You can see Calabar has been debased. For me as a person, it is a total failure because I know that a lot of businesses have failed. Look at our hospitality industry. Most of the hotel proprietors have sold off their properties. Most of them are no longer in business. Conferences don't come to Calabar. Those things that used to attract people to Calabar are no longer there. We lost our only pride, which was security. It's no longer there, you know. And in the absence of security, tourism cannot thrive. So that is where we are. We have an era where criminality is celebrated, impunity is the order of the day. There is no one to report any infraction to. Everyone is a king. This is the only state where I have seen where a murderer has been declared wanted, and few months later is walking about the streets of the city, and the government of the day that declared that same person wanted for the criminalities he had committed has not been able to say anything. Those persons still walk around free. So in such a situation, what do you make of it?